Hello, 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 and welcome back to an all new episode here on the Desensitized channel. As always, my name is Darius Cook, joined ever by Dan Cast. What's up, Dan Cast?
What up? What up? It's been a long time since we've actually been able to do one of these, so I'm excited to get into it.
That's right. It's a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. I know the fans have been clamoring for it, and so we had to get back together to deliver on some desensitized greatness. Uh, yeah, how have you been? You're looking chipper. I like the haircut. How you been?
Yeah, it's not really there as much anymore. I'll definitely need to get another one, but got my
Okay,
first fade, so I'm feeling nice and dapper for this new anime season.
right on. Yeah, I like your cut, G. But
Thank you.
Yeah, good thing you're nice and fresh because this anime season might be the most epic anime season we have possibly had on our hands. I know we're going to talk about some of the anime we've been watching this season, but just to give the people at home an idea of what we're talking about right now, all the anime that are currently running are the My Hero Academia Vigilantes series, the third season of Fire Force. We have the anime adaptation of Devil May Cry on Netflix. We have Lazarus from the creator of Cowboy Bebop over on Adult Swim, HBO Max, Windbreaker Season 2, To Be Hero X, and Yaiba, the remake of Yaiba. All these anime have hit the scene all at the same time. Isn't that insane?
It's crazy. I mean, we were talking about this a little before we started recording, but it's a lot to keep up with. If you're not on your business when each episode's coming out, it's easy to fall behind like I did. I didn't watch like any anime for like 2.5 weeks, and all of a sudden I had a million shows to watch, and all of them I want to watch equally as much. So it was tough to decide like, okay, which one can I allocate time for first? But yeah, it's insane.
No, it is insane, and I don't blame you for falling behind. Of course, I apparently have too much free time, and I've been caught up with every anime that day that each episode comes out. But I don't think we've seen an anime season this stacked before. I mean, in years, there's been times where there's four really great anime airing at the same time, or multiple. We even have videos discussing if we're in an anime renaissance, but never has that been more true than right now. So many great anime with returning epic seasons or just hitting the scene and making a splash in one season of anime. I'm drowning in great anime this year.
Oh, dude, I feel like every time we get a pretty good season, maybe there's like two or three shows, we're like, this is it. This is the best thing we've had since sliced bread. And now all of a sudden, like, here we are again with like seven shows to
Yeah,
watch. It's crazy.
yeah. Well, I want to dive into a few of the ones that you and I are both caught up on. And the first one I want to talk about is one that's been a long time coming, 5 years in the making. And it feels like since we've been doing this podcast, we keep saying, oh, isn't Fire Force season three about to come out? Oh, I think it's next season. I think it's next season. Well, it's finally out right now. What is your reaction? We're about 5 episodes into the season. What are you thinking for season three of Fire Force?
Um, so far, I'm enjoying it a lot. I kind of forget how goofy Fire Force can be sometimes, but also like still visually and also the sound design. I always forget how good it is. Like they know how to make the right noises to just like really tickle something in my brain. Um,
Mm.
but so far it's heating up. Pun intended. Uh, but we'll see. I'm not too sure how this is the last season, right? Like this is wrapping it up.
That's what it's been rumored. It's supposed to be 24 episodes, and apparently they're supposed to
Oh,
wrap up the
24.
manga, which is like still a lot of manga that will be condensed. But that's what the rumor mill has been
Mm.
from people who have read the manga and are trying to predict,
Okay.
how they're going to tackle it.
Yeah, because it looks like they're kind of slowly building up to a climax. I feel like we're still unaware of a lot of different things that are going on in the world, so there's still plenty of time to really get going. But I know one thing I've heard that's going to be coming up shortly in the next couple episodes is I heard the Arthur versus the dragon fight is like so good. Like it's already started, but like I'm sure it'll really start ramping up. So I'm really
I've
excited for
heard
that.
this as well. I've heard about this Arthur versus Dragon fight before, and I feel like we've already gotten a little bit underway with it, and I'm so far a little underwhelmed by it. It's a
Really?
cool fight on.
Uh huh.
If I'm going to be honest, that's my thought on this season overall. maybe it's because I've built up so much hype, and I feel like where season two ended was really a high point for the series. But the overall performance of season three has not been that impressive to me. I know that, we got to get back into the world, and maybe it takes a second for the plot to get going. But I feel like, here on episode five, we've just been having Shinra and Joker standing looking at Burns for like three full episodes now.
True.
Uh, a lot of stagnant animation. I did not enjoy the team fight against the Kaching lady. I liked her motif in general, really fun. Kaching. I thought, her all her money logic and everything was a good time. But the way the actual fight took place was very like stilted to me and felt very stiff.
Yeah, yeah, that's I can understand that. I think while the Dragon Arthur fight's been ramping up, you've been seeing a little bit more of the animation we're kind of used to. Obviously, not too much has happened, but I totally get that. It does feel weird that all these fights are going on, and when they put the bug to Obi, or like there was no movement. There was
Yeah.
like
Oh no.
no, like they didn't even try. Like
No,
you
it seemed
can't
insane.
fly around Burns. Like try something.
No, anime pacing logic has taught us that in that moment there was enough time for Shinra to close the gap and do something. But instead, we just watch as he looks scared as the person comes and puts the bug into his body. Like it happened way too easily for what a seasoned anime viewer would come to expect in that moment.
And the fact that like his way of warding it off is just flexing like nonstop. It was definitely funny, but I was like, dude, this is ridiculous.
No, I will say that one thing that this show has not missed a beat on is its humor. I forgot that Fire Force is this funny. I really enjoyed the banter. Everything with Lieutenant with the gun. I can't remember his name right now, but second in command. Everything with him this season has been great because we're getting like the chaotic version of him. I loved his banter, telling them it's not important to make sure that you're being safe in the car anymore because we're rebels. We can act like rebels now. And then when they were talking to Gold, I think her name was the
Hmm.
lady who says Kaching. Uh, he talked about how they do the nude calendar every other month, and it brings in a lot of good money. All the line deliveries from him and the humor in general has been pretty strong, but I don't feel like it hasn't been blended enough with the more grounded
For
tone
sure.
that the series needs to be at.
I think if it's 24 episodes, it's probably a slow build up right now, but I think once the ball really starts rolling, it's gonna be good. But yeah, that one part is like I think they all took their pants off because the belt was like metallic. She's like, "Don't you guys have any
Mhm.
shame?" It's like we do a nude calendar every year. We like we're used to this. Like I was
She
like,
actually asked, "How does that do?" And he's like, "Actually, it does quite well. Thank you for asking." Yeah, no, that was good. And I do have faith that the season will live up to my hopes, but I feel like, coming into season three, Fire Force really had a moment to make a big splash. And especially amongst some of the other anime that we're going to talk about,
hmm.
it's died down in hype a little bit. So I'm still waiting for season three to pick up the pace.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and I'm definitely a little biased. Like I love the art design and everything, and I'm a big fan of David Productions just because of JoJo's. So I have trust and faith that they'll do it justice.
All right. Well, next on the list, another one we can knock out. My Hero Academia with its spin-off Vigilantes. Were you aware of this series coming into this anime season? Did you have a familiarity with it?
I was initially kind of like, like whatever. Like I don't know if I care too much for this, but I am actually pretty caught up, and I do find myself pretty interested in this. It's not like my favorite so far, but I'm sure it'll really start heating up as well. They really got to like build the world. Like it's not like Fire Force where they're a couple seasons in. It's like this is all pretty new for the most part. Like this is before all the events of the regular My Hero, and you also have a bunch of vigilantes that on paper aren't that impressive
Hmm.
to say.
I find myself enjoying it a good amount. I read the manga for MHA. That's one of the only mangas that I kept up with as it was releasing. But in this case, I had never read any manga chapters for Vigilantes. I was just aware that it was a cool story that the fandom enjoyed.
Hmm.
What I'm wondering is if or when the stakes are going to heat up a little bit because I'm enjoying the pace of the show. Once I got used to what it is, I maybe expected it to be more action packed or maybe take itself a little bit more seriously the
Hmm.
way that MHA does. but this one is definitely more silly and wants to have more fun than MHA ever did. I do like the three characters, Knuckle Duster, Pop Step, and our boy the Crawler, we'll call him. I like their banter, their dynamic. I think they have a good synergy, and them whenever it's the three of them together in the plot, I am enjoying that. I'm enjoying the chemistry that they have.
Yeah, I think my main gripe was like I was like I feel like it needs high stakes, like higher stakes. It seemed like the one moment, I think it was episode 3 or 4, where like it seemed like things were really about to pop off. Like a ton of new villains came into the mix. You know, everyone got injected, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like, oh shit, here he goes. And then all the heroes just pulled up and beat him in like 2 seconds. I was like, oh,
It's interesting. It's fun to get the cameos from the
for
heroes
sure.
from our MHA story, but I don't know if it's that fun. It's not
Yeah.
as fun as it maybe uh, presents itself as. In episode 4, we got to meet Ida's brother, who is the current Ingenium of the time, and I
Hmm.
thought that was a really good way to blend it in because that was a character that we haven't gotten to know within the anime. So I thought that was a good use of it. But seeing even Eraserhead in the second episode, I felt was a little unsatisfying
Yeah, I was like,
overall.
whatever.
I'm hoping that because I haven't learned anything. I don't know what to expect out of the story. I don't know how long or how many seasons it'll even be. Looking at it right now, I wouldn't expect it to go more than just a season, but I'm hoping that we'll get revealed extra layers or maybe backstories to some of the characters that we've been introduced to that, just add some layers to the narrative. Because right now, it's fun. I'll keep coming back because it's fun. It's easy to watch and I enjoy the chemistry. But I'm hoping that we get a lot stronger of a plot to dig our teeth into.
For sure. And it seems like they're kind of warming up with that B girl. You could hear she's sounds like she's talking to All for One, sounds like the same voice.
Mm.
Which also seemed weird to me. I'm like, why is All for One putting so much time into this like high schooler? Like whatever. Just
Mm.
like that seemingly doesn't have that cool of a quirk.
Hmm.
Um
What do you think of Koichi's quirk in general?
um
The being able to slide on any surface as long as you have 3 points of contact.
it's pretty cool. I know it's intentional that it's also still kind of lame. Like I feel like if he could go really fast or if he was like it would be better, but I don't know if he'll probably improve the quirk later or figure some sort of way, but he's really just kind of sliding around. He said he's like as fast as a someone on a bike or something like that or
Hmm.
on a jog. I don't know. He's not that fast.
Kind of the perfect quirk for what this narrative is. He definitely could. It's interesting. We already saw that he got an offer to potentially work with Ingenium, right? Like it's useful enough that he could be used in the field to help save people and whatnot, and that's been acknowledged. But I see why it's not flashy or why he hasn't pursued it in general. In the most recent episode, episode 5, we got a backstory explaining that he didn't not join a hero course because he failed. He just
Hmm.
didn't make it in time because he was doing something else. He was saving somebody at the time. It would almost be more compelling if he tried to enter the hero course, but he got rejected because they thought that his quirk wouldn't be used well enough. But it's a little unsatisfying now that it's just like a missed opportunity, and one outing with Ingenium is enough to show him that he's good enough to be like on a hero team. So that's interesting. I'm really hoping that they find a way to make that quirk a lot more. He finds a way to hack his own quirk to get a lot more output out of it, or just a surprising way. Because if it's just him sliding on walls and jumping to save people and kind of do stuff around, it just seems like it's going to get repetitive to me. I'm hoping that the creators have something interesting in mind to surprise us with that quirk as it goes on.
I also couldn't believe that he said his problem was breaking, that he didn't think already to just hit reverse to break.
Yeah,
Like that's just like common sense, I
seems like the
think.
natural
Yeah.
conclusion to come to.
For someone
Like,
that uses their quirk every day, you'd think that he would have thought of this already, but I was like, whatever. This is a cool moment for them, I guess.
yeah, if I had this quirk, I promise you I would have tried that by the time I was 7 years old.
Yeah, no, I was like, okay, I don't know why you needed him for this,
Has
but
he never played Mario Kart? Come on.
yeah, like, yeah, every racing game, it's like you don't even need to hit the brake button to go. You can literally hit just reverse, like, and it'll do the braking for you.
My only hope, I'm sending a letter out to the creators. Don't ship Pop Step and Koichi. He's a little too old for her. Let's not do that.
Yeah, yeah, because he's like in college and she's in like high school, right?
He's supposed to be 20. She's 14.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah, I did a little Google search.
yeah, that's
So I felt like they were shipping them.
yeah, that's no good. That's no good.
Yeah.
It's fine if
If
she's
Koichi isn't careful, he's gonna find Knuckle Duster's fist up in his face if he's not careful here.
yeah, I was like it, it's fine if she's got like a little crush on him, but it'd definitely be weird if he entertains it, which
Also, what is she up to? She needs to quit spending her time in Koichi's apartment. It's insane, actually.
it's crazy. Like I wouldn't even call it like an apartment. It's like a
Yeah.
shed almost. And like the
I
three
kind
of
of
them.
like it though. I kind of fuck with the studio. I'm not
It's
gonna
kind of
lie.
the pad, but it is crazy that three people are just living there at this point, pretty much. Aside from like
Yeah.
sleeping, they're just there always.
I love Knuckle Duster, by the way.
He's
He
sick.
feels like a mix of like Billy Butcher from The Boys and like All Might. And I just love his attitude. He's a great character to be in the mix in the series.
He's my favorite character for sure. And his moment where he fought like the big muscle dude was sick. I was
Yeah,
like,
it
hell
was.
yeah, we get to see him like actually just scrap with someone instead of just like one
Yeah.
punching him.
Yeah, it's interesting. This show is to Naruto what Rock Lee was in Naruto. This show is to MHA what Rock Lee was in Naruto. Let me explain. In Naruto, I would argue that Rock Lee embodies the themes that Naruto preaches throughout its series more than Naruto does as a character. In that same way, I think that Koichi and Knuckle Duster are examples of how anyone can be a hero more so than Deku is someone who has multiple quirks at this point in the anime.
Hmm.
This is a more effective embodiment of anyone could be a hero, and they don't let anything stop them from being a hero.
For sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Especially because, with Lee, it's like, oh, you can't be a ninja unless you can do ninjutsu, and then he just grinded and willpower his way through it.
Yeah, no, Rock Lee actually proves that he could be a ninja no matter what. Naruto just sucked at being a ninja for a while, but is a Hokage's child and is a Jinchuriki.
Well,
And is
also,
the reincarnation of Indra, the
yeah,
first like chakra user on the planet. Like,
which
come
I
on.
was like, I don't care for this part, but
He's like the
anyways,
biggest Nepo baby in Naruto
yeah,
history. But anyways, we'll move on to another one that we both have seen. It's one that I actually posted a video on this channel already, kind of breaking down. But that is the Devil May Cry anime. What did you think? Are you a fan of the games?
I did. Very briefly though, because I used to share a console with my brother, who's 8 years older than me, and so my time with it is limited. I watched more so than played.
Mm,
But one thing I was saying before when I talked about it was that um, you know, the show is very over the top in its action in a good way, and also is oftentimes a little bit corny. But that's also how like the games were. That's kind of the charm of it. So like it was kind of nice to see that they still stayed true to that. As far as like the story for Devil May Cry and stuff, I don't remember it at all. So a lot of this stuff was new to me. I don't know if a lot of these characters are in it or if this is kind of like an original take on
mm.
the games, but um I did not expect too much, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought this show was awesome. I didn't expect anything out of this because, again, I didn't play the games at all. I just saw that this was out. It's another new anime coming out this season, so I just gave it a chance. And my gosh, did I love this series! I thought it was badass. The story is a simple story. Honestly, it's a story I've seen so many times, but I love how straight to the point it is. And one thing that I praise the show for being is knowing exactly what it wants to be. Its tone is that it's badass, it's mid 2000s emos punk rock. It's electric guitars and it's kicking you in the face, and it is consistent to that tone throughout the entire run.
Yeah, no, they and honestly from like first episode, like they they really did not hold back on some of the animation. It was actually very good. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of times um they like shows like that will lack in the animation department, but they actually it looks like they got some pretty good funding. And yeah, like you said, the kind of mid 2000s kind of vibe, just kicking ass, saying your punchlines and and just looking cool like it they killed it, man.
So one thing that really sticks out to me is the soundtrack, and I love that they're using all those like mid 2000s hits of like rock, punk rock of the time. The show's theme song being "Rollin'" by Limp Bizkit, it goes absolutely insane. It's the perfect theme song to set the tone for what this is. You hit play and you see that theme song, and it just dovetails perfectly into the show that you're about to watch. I think it was an inspired choice.
For sure. And I've been also like on like TikTok and other stuff, like people have been posting like um obviously when something like this happens, everyone starts either gets introduced to the game or people that used to play the game back in the day are like, "Oh my God, like let me boot this back up. Let me play it again." I've been seeing like a lot of clips and also like a lot of um like uh like trailers or like highlights and stuff like that. And they use music from the actual game, and it's
Mm,
the same thing. It's the rock. It's loud. It's awesome.
mm.
So now I'm honestly interested in playing the games, or at least watching some like a walkthrough of someone playing it, just so I can get a
Yeah, I thought that this was one of the better examples of using CGI and 2D animation together. Sometimes that's something that takes you out of a show, but this was, I feel like it was blended pretty well consistently.
hmm
Often the demons were CGI'd. I kind of think the demon designs were a little whack, if I'm being honest. Like the blue orby guy with one eye. It's just so like it's so just like cookie cutter demon
for sure.
coded. Except for a couple of them were more intricate within their design, seemingly just arbitrarily. But that was one little nitpick. But overall, I felt like the animation blended pretty seamlessly. Dude, my favorite scene in the entire anime, and it's the one that like Netflix advertises. It's Dante on a motorcycle in traffic chasing the White Rabbit to Last Resort by Papa Roach, and it's just fucking awesome. It made me feel like I was watching anime music videos as a kid. Like I just thought it was perfect.
Did something was lost, you don't see like AMVs like that anymore, or like
Mm-hmm.
even just like game clips when I was younger, when people post all their highlights, like yeah, like you said, Papa Roach blasting, like something
Mm-hmm.
about that was different, especially in like 240p quality, like just terrible.
Maybe I'm giving this show too much credit and they're just playing these songs that I loved when I was like 11 and 12 years old, first developing a taste in music and just being like, hell yeah, like it's just speaking to my soul. The show ends on a sequence of America invading hell on their assault missions now, set to American Idiot, which was just the cherry
Yeah.
on top that this series needed. I mean, chef's kiss.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, like shit. If Hellgate started opening, that's probably what would happen.
Yeah, it did. It did feel accurate. I thought that the presidential and government representation was a big swing, but an interesting one. The way that they were depicting the president and then the vice president. Definitely some, I think the vice president, I think Baines is his character's name in the show, is definitely supposed to be Dick Cheney from real life. But him being like a hyper religious, holy warrior and playing that role throughout the season, juxtaposing everybody else around, I thought it was just the perfect touch as well. I thought it was very interesting.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like at no point did he feel like any fear. He's like, nah, this is supposed to happen. Like God's got me. I was like, Jesus, you're falling out of a fucking plane, man. No parachute.
I think it's actually an effective commentary on the power that does come with like unadulterated faith. As someone who grew up in the church but doesn't go to church anymore, I feel like I can speak to like if you are so confident that your religion is right, it's like you're untouchable. Like everything is moving forward for you because you have that faith that it's going in that direction. Yeah, I thought it was a very funny character piece for him, just amongst all the other demonic chaos going on.
Yeah, and even I forget his name now, the like mob guy that was like constantly setting up Dante. He
I
just
don't know
would
his name.
not learn. Like,
He was funny, man.
he was good.
It was weird halfway through when you're like, oh, we're just keeping this guy around the whole time,
Yeah,
huh?
like
Like,
he anybody could have done his job. His
yeah,
only thing was like he knows Dante a little bit, and Dante doesn't even like fuck with him like that. Like,
it was pretty unneeded in the narrative. He just gave Dante a way to feel human. Because I noticed that we don't see Dante's home. We don't know like what his current living circumstances are. This whole anime takes place over like 48 hours. And so I think without this character giving you like grounding Dante into, okay, Dante is a guy who lives in the human world normally, like he just gives you that context. Without that, I think it would feel weird following Dante as the main character, especially learning that he's half demon and everything.
yeah, and then I was happy to see that they left it on like a cliffhanger as well. Obviously, there's I forget how many games there are. There's maybe like 4 or 5, so there's plenty of
There's definitely
content
at
there.
least five.
Yeah, and did they announce if they got greenlit for another season?
Yeah, season 2 is greenlit within 7 days of the anime being released.
Yeah,
So
understandable.
fans will have that to look forward to for sure. They left open a lot of plots. Honestly, they didn't solve the problem at all.
No.
They just killed the White Rabbit. Like all
Yeah.
they did was remove this figurehead from, the lead who is the leader of this cause right now. But they haven't even begun to address the overall problem. And it's implied that Dante's brother is alive. Like we have a lot of meaty plot to move into moving forward.
Yeah, and you can imagine Dante's brothers like equally as strong. So I'm excited to see if they end up squaring off. That would probably be awesome.
Yeah.
And also the fact that the White Rabbit wasn't even like a demon. Like they really just killed like another human. Like they haven't even tackled like any of the big demons.
Yeah, that was a really good twist, honestly. I appreciate the way that they revealed that he was a human. Halfway through the season, there's just this weird background episode where we get the backstory to Lady and the White Rabbit, and both of them are in two distinct animation styles, separate from our main story's animation style. I thought that was one of the more artistic strokes that the team chose to do, which was kind of surprising in a show that otherwise is just hell yeah the series, you know.
Yeah, and honestly, I love when animes like take a step and then they try like a different type of animation for like a scene or whatever. I feel like it really like helps drive whatever point they're going for home. I'm a big fan of that just to see also like the range of like the production studio, like the they can do different almost not like mediums but like different types of animation. It's really I love seeing that shit. I'm like a big animation nerd.
It definitely drew me in as a viewer. It made it interesting and it gave me something to lean into when otherwise there was almost no dialogue in the whole episode while we're getting those backstories. So like where on paper, this is a type of storytelling that usually would make me zone out a little bit, but I found myself enthralled. And it was a pretty compelling backstory that set up the two characters of Lady and the White Rabbit of being these like, sworn enemies essentially, directly opposed from each other. How sick is the White Rabbit as a villain?
Dude, he's pretty dope.
Yeah,
I
man. The way he looked with that creepy smile and those red
dude,
eyes, man.
yeah, I mean, he sent a picture of it the other day. That grin is so just mischievous and evil. Like it's
Yeah, no, it's crazy. He makes an entrance on in episode 1 and immediately established himself as one of the coolest villains I've ever seen.
Hmm. And also just the fact that like that's just not how he looks. Like that's just like stitched on. Like it's crazy.
The animation team is they're kind of reaching for me to assume that that's what he looks like with a rabbit mask stitched onto his face because that's bullshit. That is not just a guy with his rabbit doll stuffed onto his face. That's not what that looks like, man. No way.
Especially because it's
But
like picking up all his like little muscle movements. Like
yeah,
like it would normally just be going like
yeah, no, it's insane. Like his full teeth are like it's like a full rabbit mask. It's like fused to his skin. Either way, I'll let it slide because it looks awesome.
it
It looks
does. It
amazing.
does. Like the two twin
Yeah.
demons, I was like, get these guys off my screen. Can he kill them
Oh
already?
yeah.
I was like,
Who needs?
I don't care for these
Yeah.
guys.
I don't need red and blue molar twins. I'm good.
Yeah, like it's like, dude, can he kill them already? Please get them out of here.
I mean, Devil May Cry, Devil May be my favorite anime of the season.
We
I've
still
been
have
working on that one.
we.
I read that
It's
from
not.
my notes.
It's not.
Yeah, that's the only one of the season where all the animes were dropped at once, or all the episodes were dropped at once. And so, yeah, we'll see how it stacks up overall once the rest of these come out. The other anime that have come out this season are To Be Hero, Lazarus, Windbreaker, and Yaiba. I think you're maybe not caught up on a lot of those. What are there any of those that are sticking out to you right now that you have anything to comment on?
Definitely To Be Hero. I mean, it's normally I'm not a fan of like a show that's like largely CGI.
Hmm.
Um, but they actually do it really well. And when they sprinkle in the moments of just like standard like drawn animation, like I think it actually works really well. It's kind of like what I was talking about, how I love when they do the switch up. I feel like them specifically, they really like when the action's happening, they switch to the drawn. Like they actually make it look really good. It feels more impactful whenever they're doing
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, To Be Hero is crazy, man. And forget what I just said about Devil May Cry. To Be Hero is the anime of the season with 5 episodes out alone. I can confidently say that. Uh, Click right here to see my video breaking down the first few episodes of To Be Hero X, where I dive into the power system and some of the other things that make the show unique. But on that point about the animation that you were just saying, this anime has 3 different anime studios coming together to animate
Oh,
it.
I didn't know
And
that.
so there's 3 distinct ones involved here. The whole production of the anime is a combined production from Chinese studio, Billy, and then Aniplex from Japan. So those are the studios running the production, but then they have 3 different animation studios actually tackling it. So the whole thing is like this weird love letter collaboration of so many studios coming together. I don't know who's behind it, but that is the outcome.
That's crazy. I was thinking it was just one studio, but that definitely makes sense for studios to just collab. Um, Honestly, I'm surprised that doesn't happen more often. Like this is like the
It's
first I feel
interesting.
like I'm hearing of it, of like a bunch of different animation studios like really collabing to make like a finished product.
We've seen it in anthology series where each episode is a
Yeah,
different
of
studio. We have
course.
that with the Star Wars
Yeah,
Legends,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
Love, Death, and Robots. But yeah, I agree. I haven't. This is the first of its form, as far as I can tell. And the show chooses to weave that into its narrative. It's like when you see that animation switch, it's always when there is a tonal shift in the story in the moment. I feel like they use it so well to their advantage with their storytelling. Also, this series is a masterclass in storytelling. You've seen 3 episodes so far?
Yeah.
Each episode feels like I'm watching a movie. They pack so much into it. It's like they trust their audience to understand what's going on. They move a mile a minute, and they each episode has like a storyline that's set up, an arc, and then like a climactic conclusion by the end of each episode. Like it's insane. I feel catharsis after each ep. And then they have a tagline that sets up the next episode each
Yeah.
time.
And I really do like the idea of like the power system. It's like based on like how popular you are or like how feared you are for villains. I think that's pretty sick. Um, I don't know if I've seen that before.
No, it's amazing. I mean, I've seen stuff that gets a little close to it. In JoJo's, your stand ability is an extension of who you are internally, but this is the flip side of that. This is how people see you externally will affect what you can do. It's awesome and it's so literal. And they use it again. It's another tool in their tool belt that they are using to get across such an emotionally impactful story in so little time. I won't spoil it because episode 4 is freaking amazing. But by the time you get to episode 5, they reinvent the wheel. They break open the story and they reinvent themselves in episode 5. That's all I'll
Really?
say for now.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm excited. I that was actually on my like catch up list. That was the next up because that's like the most interesting to me. It's because I don't know. Initially, I didn't think I'd like it that much. Then I'm like, whoa, this is actually really good. I'm really invested.
No, this show is jam packed with so much depth and layers that make it very interesting. But above all, I think it's just a marvel to enjoy the storytelling in each episode. I'm really having fun with these vignettes and these stories. It's only going to be 12 episodes, and that makes me so sad.
That's brutal. I'm sure there'll be multiple seasons depending how it
Well, did
ends.
you know that this is already the third season?
Wait, what?
It's To Be Hero X is a spinoff of a To Be Hero franchise. There's To Be Hero, To Be Heroine, like heroine, and then To Be Hero X. So I think this takes place in the same world as these other seasons do. I haven't looked that much into it. But the seasons are out there. You can find them on Crunchyroll. But yeah, this is the third in the franchise. But you don't need to have watched any of those to come
Yeah,
into it.
no,
That's for
that
sure.
that explains a lot because every time I look it up, I'm like, man, this name is like very similar, but this is not the show I'm looking for. I just
True.
figured it was just like a coincidence, but that's crazy. I didn't know that was actually part of the greater To Be Hero world.
What are your thoughts on Lazarus from the creator of Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, and Space Dandy? His fourth or fifth at bat breaking into the anime space on Adult Swim / Max. What do you think?
So I've only seen one episode. So I don't have too many opinions, but from what I've seen, it's definitely something where like you don't need to know this is from the creator of Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, Space Dandy, all that stuff. Uh, you can just tell, like you can see
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
like the art style, the like jazziness of it, like the I don't know, it the whole vibe of it just screams it, which is great because all of those shows are awesome, and so far it's really good. I'm just interested in like how the plot will actually be because that's going to be the most important. I mean, obviously there's cool flary animation, but it's not like some like it's not like a fighting anime, you know what I mean? Like it's not like a
Hmm.
shonen. It's like this seems like something that will be largely plot driven, so it'll be more dependent on that. And since I've only seen an episode, I don't know too much of where this might go. But
Yeah, well, to be honest, I'm 4 episodes in. I think I haven't seen the fifth yet. You know, it's you haven't missed that much somehow, having not caught up. I really do like the show, and every time I put an episode on, I'm very thoroughly entertained. But in the weeks leading up to the next episode, I don't find myself that drawn in. The story is a strong one on paper. The public gets access to essentially a miracle drug that helps people no longer experience pain. So naturally, everybody takes it. It's cheap, affordable, and then the world finds out that if you've taken this drug within 30 days you're going to die unless someone can find me. So our main character is a part of a ragtag group assembled to find this doctor and find a cure for all of humanity.
mhm.
Very cool on paper. I really like that story. uh, but when we're watching our characters execute this investigation, essentially it really takes its time, and it prioritizes smaller moments of cool storytelling and like character building moments. That's what I think the show excels at, is like small character moments, not plot overall, but like the
Mm,
small vignettes that we get throughout. There's an episode that explores, through one of our main characters, the black male experience in the college space, that I thought was interesting. There's another episode, actually, it might be the same episode, explores homelessness, and even more specifically, a trans woman character amongst this homeless society. And in both cases, it seems to reflect that specifically of an American culture role
mm,
perspective on both of these situations. Uh, the It seems like this is taking place in the future for sure, but based on the character designs, it seems like the story's in America, or
yeah.
at least a diverse, modern place.
Hmm.
And on top of all of that, I looked at the dubbing for it, and there's no way to watch this in Japanese. There's only It comes in English, then you get French, German, and a few other ones, but there's no Japanese dubbing, which is weird because the creator of this is
Yeah.
definitely Japanese. And so I'm just left scratching my head a little bit. I am very interested, and I'm sure I'm going to like where the series goes, but it's taking its time. It's going at a cool pace, and it's not giving me much urgency at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I feel like leading up to it, I saw like a video or a TikTok or whatever, like new animes coming out in this one, and then like as the season's progressing, like I haven't been seeing too many clips of like people talking about it more like compared to a lot of the other ones that are coming out now. But I'm still excited to check it out, even if it's not like the best. It'll be the vibes will be good. Um,
It is a good time. I will
yeah,
say there hasn't been any bad episodes. Just amongst the popular season, it's not catching your attention as much.
yeah, it's on the lower end of my list, but I'm also not like always a big I don't even know if I'd consider this like it's kind of sci-fi, but like I'm not into like that 50 or 100 years in the future. I like it if you're going to do the futuristic go way out there. But
Mm,
that's just a weird personal thing for me. But
sure.
I also I didn't have faith with Adult Swim just after Ninja Kamui, but
Yeah.
so far it's looking pretty good.
No, Adult Swim anime in the last year produced Ninja Kamui and the Rick and Morty anime, and the Suicide Squad Isekai. That's what they're putting out for anime.
Wah, wah.
But yeah, I think I mean we're both I'm watching Windbreaker, I'm watching Apothecary Diaries right now. Those are ones I'm enjoying, but I know you don't watch those. But for anyone at home watching, just know that I'm really enjoying those series as well. And then there's Yaiba, a remake of a popular anime series from the late 90s that's being reanimated and kind of retouched up and re-edited all around. I'm a few episodes into that right now. I like it. It's quite charming.
Yeah, I'm either 2 or 3 episodes in. It's not something that's gonna, change your life or anything, but it is just like a fun and like entertaining anime. Like there's from what I've seen so far and like the small brief spars that have gone on, like looks like the animation's really really good. The intro was crazy. I don't know
Yeah,
how the hell they're
it
gonna lead up
was.
to that. Um,
Yeah, good luck.
but 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 so far it just gives off like and because it is an older anime, but it gives off like I maybe skipped school that day and I'm watching TV. It's just something fun. Or you wake up really early for some reason before school and you turn on the TV and the Adult Swim like anime is going like Inuyasha or something like that. That's kind of what it
Yeah.
gives. It's nice nostalgia almost.
That's a perfect way of saying it. This feels so nostalgic. For me, it feels more like a Saturday morning W4 Kids energy for me. That's where it's bringing me back to. But it's definitely like a low stakes watch. Doesn't take itself too seriously, but it's a fun one, especially if you grew up watching anime like we did. In the early 2000s or even the late 90s. It's going to be a good watch.
Yeah, I don't have too much to say just because I'm not too deep into it, but yeah, just everything about it. And one thing that um I did realize is I really liked the art style of like early 2000s 90s anime. Like it's kind of shifted into something a little bit else, like different, which still looks
Mhm.
great, don't get me wrong, but I do like the vibes and the look of like the older kind of anime. I'm a big fan of how they are drawn.
Yeah, it's thinner lines, bigger eyes, spikier hair, a softer color palette. I didn't realize that I had a longing for it until seeing it here, and it really does give me like a warm feeling in my heart seeing that kind of animation style.
For sure, and it's crazy, but no, I'm super excited to catch up on that. But I don't have too much to say, like I said, because I'm not too deep into it. But I've been enjoying just sitting back, eating a snack, and like watching that.
Well, that's all the anime that we're watching right now that's running through this season. As the season goes along, I'm sure we'll check in again, and once these anime come to a close, I'm sure we'll be doing full breakdowns on a few of these.
Yep. Super excited. Next time we get together, we'll hopefully be caught up in everything at that time. But no promises considering there's so many.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, until
Yeah.
next time.
For anyone at home, let us know of these anime. Which anime are you watching? Which one are you most excited to see? Tell us what your favorite anime of the season is and your least favorite, and let's see if that'll change by the end of the anime season.
Or if there's one that we didn't mention that we're unaware of.
Yeah, do we need to make this list bigger? Do we need to add more anime in the rotation? Because we can do that.
We need to put more on our plate, like a buffet. Like it just doesn't
Yeah,
stop.
yeah. I'm not watching enough anime. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's my problem.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you guys on another episode of Desensitized, and remember that we love you.
You're loved.